Welcome to the weekly market wrap-up. I'm Hannah Bernard. The crisis in Ukraine strained international markets this week as world stock indexes dropped and U.S. markets plunged, losing almost 1.5% on Thursday. Losses accelerated after reports of U.S. F-16 fighter jets landing in Poland to participate in military exercises. With investors carefully monitoring the crisis, what impact will this have on the future of a bull market? Let's get to it. Hampered by economic and geopolitical risks abroad, U.S. equities erased early gains and ended sharply lower Thursday, as the Dow Jones suffered its fourth straight day of losses, dropping more than 200 points and losing 1.4% in value. The S&P 500 also took a hit, losing 1.2% to close at 1,846. Finally, the NASDAQ, which has been performing the best so far this year, plunged 1.5% to close at 4,260. Turning now to Canadian markets, which fared no better this week. The Toronto Stock Exchange took a major hit Thursday, dropping nearly 74 points or 0.52% of overall value. And the Toronto Venture Exchange also felt the pinch, losing over 1.3% in value to close at 1,032. The geopolitical crisis in Ukraine is likely to continue to pose a serious threat to foreign and domestic markets. President Obama said Thursday that if Russia continues an aggressive path in Ukraine, the U.S. and other countries will be forced to apply costs to Moscow. Obama made his remarks after meeting with Ukraine's new prime minister at the White House. The drop in the markets this week came despite encouraging economic data in the U.S., showing rebounding retail sales in February and a steeper than expected drop in jobless claims. Curiously, for most of the year, weak economic data has had no impact on the market. The bull keeps on running. Is it likely to continue? Quite possibly. According to John Manley, chief equity strategist at Wells Fargo, we are in a Goldilocks zone where it's a matter of just right. The economy needs to be weak enough so it needs encouragement, but strong enough that it doesn't create disasters. While emotion still rules and the crisis in Ukraine still looms, Manley predicts the bull still has room to run. Some other factors impacting U.S. markets this week were in China, as even despite encouraging signals in the U.S. economy, China imposed heavy pressure on global equities as further signs of a slowdown renewed weakness for commodity prices, and this fueled worries over prospects for U.S. growth. Now turning over to currency talk, investors seem to scramble to safe haven yen this week as we saw the yen rise, after U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry signaled a possible response from the West if the referendum in Ukraine's Crimea region goes ahead on Sunday. The euro slumped to session lows against the dollar and yen after comments from European Central Bank chief signaling he remained open to more action to avert the crippling effects of deflation. We are seeing the Eurozone economy picking up steam though, and many investors have been speculating the ECB would not ease policy further to counter deflation risks. In the metals sector, it was a tough week for copper as we saw it fall to a 44-month low of 6,376.25 during intraday trading on Wednesday. It did recover at the close, however, to post its first daily gain since last Friday. Gold also bled this week as it retreated from 6-month highs after the release of stronger than expected U.S. data. Now to winners and losers and our picks for the week. The winner for this week is magicJack Vocaltech Ltd, ticker symbol CALL. magicJack shares exploded this week, gaining 20% in value after the company reported better than expected fourth quarter results with revenue of $38.2 million. magicJack is the industry leader in voice over IP for the consumer market. They have sold over 10 million units and their products are available in over 25,000 stores, with an additional distribution of 10,000 new locations in 2014. With a forward PE of just 12, there's a chance that magicJack's run could go higher and continue. The loser for this week is World Acceptance Corp, ticker symbol WRLD. World Acceptance shares dropped over 19% on Thursday following the announcement of a legal investigation into possible violations of federal securities laws. World Acceptance Corp engages in the small loan consumer finance business in the United States and Mexico. The company's products include short-term and medium-term loans, related credit insurance, and ancillary products and services. Well, those are our winners and losers for this week, and now it's time to check in on the gains you could have locked in by following the weekly watch list from Robert James and Viral Stocks. That's enough about this week. Now let's turn to BayStreet.ca's look at the week ahead and the snapshot of what analysts are forecasting for companies whose earnings reports are coming out next week. Here are 4 U.S. stocks to watch. Coming up on Wednesday, Cintas Corp is out with an EPS estimate of 70 cents. FedEx Corp is up next with an EPS estimate of $1.56. And finally on Wednesday, General Mills is out with an EPS estimate of 68 cents. Also keep your eye out on Thursday for Nike Incorporated with an EPS estimate of 76 cents. Checking in on Canadian stocks to watch next week. Starting off the week on Monday, we have Tourmaline Oil Corp with an EPS estimate of 18 cents compared to 9 cents in prior year quarter. Tourmaline announced earlier this month it has agreed to purchase all outstanding common shares of San Antonio Energy Inc. On Wednesday, Power Corporation of Canada is out with an EPS estimate of 62 cents compared to 48 cents in the prior year quarter. And on Thursday, we have Silver Wheaton Corp with an EPS estimate of 24 cents compared to 50 cents in the prior year quarter. And finally, Whitecap Resources Inc. with an EPS estimate of 12 cents compared to 6 cents in the prior year quarter. And that wraps it up. Thanks again so much for joining us for another weekly market wrap-up. Before you head out for the weekend, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook and on Twitter. For Viral Network News and BayStreet.ca, I'm Hannah Bernard.